Aloha and welcome to the Mailani Hawaii Mentorship LLC class that we've got going on. This is a continuation and also new beginning for Tier 2. We just successfully finished Tier 1. Congratulations to each and every one of you for completing that successfully. You've already received your headshots. Good job, by the way, girls. You guys look amazing. You look great. So let's talk about that. You've got your headshots. Now what? Right? That's what your parents or what you are thinking to yourselves, like, okay, we've got these really good headshots. Now what do I do with these? So the great thing is that you have a whole lot of headshots. It's not like we just gave you 3 photos. We've given you the best of that photo shoot. And so you have a lot of photos to choose from. Normally, in like the LA market, artists, talent, they get their headshots done every 6 months because every 6 months your looks will change, your features will change, your hair will grow longer, maybe you dyed it a different color, you either put on a little bit of weight or take off a little bit of weight. And in order to keep your resume, your portfolio fresh, normally in a market that's as elite and as busy as that, normally you would take your headshots every 6 months. In the local Hawaii industry, we just suggest that artists and talent take their headshots every year, so at least once a year. Okay, so I would highly suggest that each and every one of you take the time to go through your photos and select 3 of the best, okay? 3 of the best photos that you have, and keep the others on the side. Like, just keep it in your arsenal, keep it in your, I'm sure you've downloaded it into your computer, keep it in your files. And what you're gonna do is print at least 10, okay? Take the best out of those 3 and go down to Walgreens, go down to Costco, or if you know a local printer, go down and print the best 10 of those photos. That's gonna help you get work, basically. It's great for submitting your headshot for an agency. Now, locally throughout Hawaii, there's Bliss Models, Bliss Talent, there's ADR Agency, there's Kathy Mueller. There's a whole bunch of local agencies that book out work for the major things that are happening throughout Hawaii in the film industry, in the commercial industry, jingle industry. Oftentimes when you go to the malls, you'll see like a magazine or a little portfolio or / brochure of what the malls are, the different stores that carry different products. Most of the time you'll see models coming on wearing certain clothing, and you'll see models of all ages. You'll see talent of all ages. So that's the kids, the teenagers, the young adults, hipsters, and then adults like my age, and then older, like the kupuna, grandparents. And so agencies book out talent for a number of opportunities. That's just one of many. There's a lot of film coming into Hawaii that I've mentioned, and I'm going to continue mentioning it because it's true. We have more projects than ever before coming into Hawaii. Hawaii 5 is still going strong. They're not finished here just yet. Magnum PI is going to be here. As you saw with Jumanji and The Rock and Kevin Hart, they came here for their film. More artists they're kind of moving from being an actor into being a director of directing a film or producing a new story. And you'll see that happen throughout the span of your life. Like myself, I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, but I'm also a director of sorts. I'm a mentor now. And so you'll see this gradual evolution of an artist and where we take our art and how we pour our art back into our community. So getting back to the agencies though, the reason why it's important to submit your photos for an agency is so that they can give you work, so that they can book you out for something that they're looking for. Maybe they're looking for twins. Maybe they're looking for a girl who has a really beautiful, raspy, in-depth, soulful voice. You never know what it is that they're looking for, but the market looks for a number of things. And so the reason why throughout our headshot day, the day that we did your photo shoot, and I said, be happy, be sad, be creepy, be angry, is because sometimes you might be given an opportunity to try out for a part that requires you to be sad or creepy or be the mean girl or be the clown. And so the job of an artist is to fill the shoes of what your role requires. So although we aren't doing singing, songwriting, and music, you might have the chance to be a featured background artist or a featured background actor. Okay, so a featured background actor, you may have one line or two lines throughout the show. And I bring this up because my daughter, Ha'e, she was able to land a featured background role in Hawaii Five-0 last year. And for working for 4 hours, she made a good $1,200. Okay, I'm not making that up. And in fact, if I was making anything up, I would probably try to push that $1,200 to like $1,500 or $2,000. But no, it was just roughly around $1,200, which of course we had to make sure we paid taxes on that, because when you're working, you still have to pay your taxes. The greatest thing about doing a gig like that, or doing a performance such as that, where you're performing on this grand scale of attention, you know, everybody knows what, everyone watches Hawaii Five-0, if not locally, at least in the States. They have such a huge amount of attention. They've captured attention in such a great way. I'm on Instagram right now. I'm gonna look up their Hawaii Five-0 page. Let's see, Hawaii Five-0. Hawaii Five-0. Yeah, Hawaii Five-0 fan. So there's a Hawaii Five-0 fan, 45.5 thousand followers. Where's the verified Hawaii Five-0? Hawaii Five-0, Hawaii Five-0. Not Hawaii Five-0 Team Friends. No, Hawaii Five-0. Oh, here we are. Well, I can't find the verified one. But getting back to what I'm trying to explain is that they are widely followed. And so when you are making money on a widely followed platform, that's a plus, that's success. You know, that's like, okay, that's a huge win for you. And then because it's such a highly viewed platform, you also make residuals off of that. So what are residuals? I talked about this in class. It's where you make money for doing something you've done a long time ago still. So every month I still get a check cut for my daughter for work that she did a year ago. Okay, and it feels so great. Even if it's $100, $200, whatever it is, that's $100, $200 that I didn't have to work for that $100 or $200 the way I have to work for the other money that comes into my life. Okay, so think about that, guys. That's the meaning of residual income. And I talk about things like real estate. I talk about things like stocks or investments to not only you as students, but also to your parents, because it's very important to have this kind of introduction to what residual income is so that you can start creating that for yourselves. Okay. The other great thing about appearing on a widely followed platform is now my daughter is able to apply for SAG-AFTRA to get that type of unionized benefits where her pay grade will just explode. Okay, if she was already SAG and she had this part, her paycheck would have most likely been a lot more than $1,200. There's certain benefits and protections that you have when it comes to being labeled or having that type of association, SAG-AFTRA. There's the SAG Awards, SAG. Look it up, guys. Okay, we live in an age of excessive information, so look these things up. That's going to be part of your assignment anyways. Now, in our class, we will, in this second tier, we're going to go over mock interviews. We have to go over that. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. And we're going to shoot some OTFs, meaning on the fly, and we're just going to interview you real quick. Your job is to come up with a 30-second answer in 5 seconds. Like literally test yourself. How can you talk about something very interesting and capture the attention of the listener for 30 seconds, for that duration? But how do you come up with that in 5 seconds or in less than 5 seconds, in a snap? Because if you ever pay attention to the Golden Globes, the VMAs, any of the awards that honor artists, singers, rappers, actors, they're always on the red carpet, and they're not just being photographed where they understand how to pose, what's the best part of their body, is it their right side or their left side, that's the best capture. But they also have to answer tons of interviews, and that is their job. When they're finished with a film, when they're finished with a movie or an episode or a season of whatever it is that they're involved with, And just like singers, just like rap artists, just like all artists that have a new launch or a new album or a new single or a new EP, what is a part of their job aside from being on stage and singing and performing? It's also being interviewed and promoting that content. Okay? So self-promotion is huge. How do you self-promote? How are you going to promote yourself, your name, your image, and your brand? We need to start getting a lot better than that, a lot better in that area. VIP Ignite also is an agency that I've hooked up several of my students with. They are based in Pennsylvania, but they have events in LA and also in New York. And so if you're considering ever to appear in a showcase or to meet people who are casting directors, agents, sound engineers, people who are doing the work but on a greater scale globally as opposed to just locally, these are events, and this is an agency you may want to consider. Okay, so that's a quick thing about that. Getting back to your headshots, when you apply or when you submit for any kind of agencies, even like VIP Ignite, who I just talked about, Bliss, ADR, Kathy Mueller, all of those agencies, you will need a headshot. In fact, they won't even take a meeting with you if you don't have a headshot. So headshots are so important. If you are going to compete in a contest, in a competition, or in a battle of the bands, or brown bags to stardom, or whatever it is, any kind of contest, you would have to have a headshot. And even if you don't think that like the competition, so meaning your competitors, the people that you're competing against, even if they don't have a headshot, guess what? The fact that you do lets the platform know, it lets the panel know that you're groomed, that you at least are a little seasoned. You're not completely green where you're starting from ground zero. Okay, and so this mentorship gives you the basic tools so that you, if you are ground zero or ground five, level 5, whatever it is that you're involved in, I will still help you to level up. But none of you have ever had professionally headshots done. And so that's why it's even more important that you take the time to go through your photos, select your best 3, and print out 10 of your best photo. Okay. And in the back of the photo, I will email this out as soon as and this is going to come along with your email, but it's going to be a template in which you have to fill out your name, number. The number should be your parents. I'm going to briefly talk about management too in the next video. But it should be name, number, email. That should be of your manager or your agent. Also height, date of birth. If you're under the age of 18, you'll have date of birth. If you're 18 and over, you can put 18 and over or legal adult. Okay, those are the things that you can do. And after that, it'll be height, weight, and then also your experience. What type of experiences have you had that make the agent who's looking at your headshot and looking at your bio, that's what we're talking about, your bio, how likely will it be for them to want to hire you? It's going to be based off of your experiences. Have you been in a theatrical play? Have you been in a competition before? Have you tried out and been in a contest of singers or of models? Have you done pageantry before? Like, what is it that you've done before that lets the agent see that you are someone that he or she can work with? Are you coachable? Are you groomed enough to understand the rules of this game? If you're going to be on set, are you going to be talking to the crew, or are you going to be ready when they call your name and they're going to say lights, camera, action, and you're ready to do the part and you've already had your lines memorized? Or are you going to be someone that a singer like myself would want to bring along to one of my performances and have you open with a song? Or maybe you'll sing backup for me. These are things that we think of, okay? So when you're doing this kind of work, you need to put yourself in the mind of an agent or in the mind of other talent, because that's what's going to help land you more work and get you paid. So all of what you're doing right now is an investment into that type of work. You're paying for it now, but you can get paid back later. So game up on your skills, take this seriously, and take the time to go through all of the things that you've ever done in your lifetime that you can add to your bio, so that the agent will say, so and so is someone that I'd really like to see. Let's give her another audition. Okay, some of these auditions, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 auditions before you finally get the part. But if you're getting paid good money, is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. I brought up Stranger Things, and those actors and actresses in the movie, especially the kids, their income doubled per episode. Okay, they're getting paid like $350,000 per episode now. And so if there's 9 episodes in a season, you think those kids really you think they are complaining that they had to go through classes like what you're going through now? No, they're not, because they had a clear vision of what it was that they were going to do. So ladies and gentlemen, get very, very clear on what it is that you're wanting to do. Follow these rules. Take the time to sift through the photos that you like, that capture the essence of who you are, and then take the time to go out and get them printed. 10 copies. Sometimes it can be a little expensive depending on where you go. Walgreens is quite expensive, but there's a Walgreens on every corner. So take or leave it, you're kind of paying for time. There's also Copy Hut, who we use. They're in town. And then there's Costco. Costco is relatively affordable. Sam's Club. So you can take your flash drive. You can even email them. You can email the photos that you have to these printers, and they'll have it printed out for you. But the catch to it all also is in behind your photo, you should have your bio, so that you're leaving behind your one piece, which is your image, and then your information, okay? Contact information and what you've done. So that's pretty much it for this section. Thank you guys for listening and watching and taking the time out of your schedules to pay attention to this class. Listen to it, watch it over and again. If you have any questions, you know that you can reach me. But this is really the name of the game. And in order to be looked at or to be taken seriously, everybody needs to have a headshot. The other benefit to having a headshot is also when you're having or hosting your own events and you have a flyer, like come to this, or come to the Mailani Hawaii concert, or come to my fundraiser, you can put your image on the flyers, okay? Also with all of your information, whether it's the Roldan twins or whatever it may be, that information will all be there with your image, okay? And images are go-getters in terms of getting the attention that you need, because if people are just looking at a page with words on it as opposed to a page with information plus a picture, which do you think people would be more attentive to? The page with just words on it, or the page with words, information plus an image or a photo? 10 times out of 10, it'll be the photo, okay? So thank you again for successfully completing Tier 1. We're going on to Tier 2. We're going to be working on our demos this class, plus our mock interviews. And the next video is going to be up soon. You guys take care. Aloha.